Welcome to the Lesson of the Week with yours truly, Sean Thunder Wallace. I'm a performer, composer, and professor of music at The Ohio State University. This weekly program is designed to inspire and inform the serious music student. We're all students here, so join me on the path of discovery as we learn together.
So when I'm playing like older standards like Stardust and stuff like that, is it cool to use giant step subs and like advanced harmonic stuff, or does it like completely depend on the setting?
Completely depends on the setting. It always depends on the setting.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm playing, some of it's like, I hate to say this, but some of it's kind of political.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I'm playing in a certain setting,
Mm-hmm.
then if I'm playing like a bunch of like outside stuff, and I can qualify it, I can explain why I'm doing it. I understand what I'm doing, but the people I'm playing with, they're just not. That's just not what they deal with.
Yeah.
So it might be better just to play,
Mm-hmm.
more inside,
Mm-hmm.
traditional type of stuff, or. Sometimes cats will say play the blues. They want you to play more bluesy, or some guys, they just have an idea of what they want. So you need to be able to give them what they want. That type of thing. And it's kind of whack in some ways, but then in other ways it might be appropriate, or it might be a certain sound that a particular band is going for. It's a lot of the reason why a lot of times. Like the gig will go to another cat that sounds the same as the cat that just left the band.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, Wayne, which was heavily influenced by Train, was playing with Miles after Train was. And it was like Miles was basically looking for someone that had that kind of thing happen. It was Wayne, and he used some other guys, but they didn't, he didn't use them for a long period of time. He was looking for somebody that had a certain sound.
Right.
So, and even thinking about this too, Cannonball heavily influenced by Parker. Miles was playing with Parker.
Oh yeah.
See, you do have to consider that Maria Schneider's band, Chris Potter was playing the tenor one chair. He left the band. Donnie McCaslin took the chair. Donnie McCaslin heavily influenced by Chris. So you just have to, you think about it in that thing, and sometimes it's not about sounding like the other guy. It's because they're going to know what to play in a certain situation that the band leader has gotten used to hearing. So it doesn't seem like such a big difference from what was happening
so
before.
It's more like, so the rest of the band doesn't really have to adjust. So it's
as much. That's right.
Yeah.
Right, because this guy is coming in and he's just playing that same role.
Yeah.
And so there is a time and place for that. Like when I'm playing, when I'm playing a gospel setting, I'm gonna play, stylistically gospel stuff.
Lots of like pentatonic.
But of course it's deeper than that. There's a rhythmic thing. There's a tonal thing. Tonal quality, like the kind of sound that I'm trying to go for. And in my church gig now, and we've had these conversations. It took. I understand how to play stylistically, how to play what the style is, but it took a while for me to really understand exactly what it was that they wanted. And so, I had to do my homework. I had to be flexible. I had to not take stuff personally. You just don't take it personally. It's like, hey, this is just, they want me to play more of this kind of style. They want me to do more of this kind of thing. And the music director there, he likes it more when I play tenor. Even though for me, the gospel sound on as far as saxophone goes is alto. But then there's another thing, is there's another saxophone player there who in the band is we're all friends. And so I'm not trying to cut anybody on the gig. I'm not trying to take their gig, and I'm trying to in matter of fact, I'm trying to fit in where I can. You know, you get in where you fit in, and you in that situation, I've written myself into most everything we do. And the way I did that is I actually transcribed parts, and I wrote a part for the other saxophone player and for myself, so that we could play together. You see what I'm saying? So there's ways that you can, you know, that you can deal with stuff, and if you're secure in who you are and what you can bring to the table, it doesn't bother you to play different stylistically, or to have to jump through some other hoops, or to do some other stuff that maybe somebody else in the band that you're coming to isn't doing. But hey, too bad. You know, it's just like that's what it is. You know, it should never get to the point where it's like, well, you know, I don't feel like doing this. Nobody else has to do it. Why I got to do it? That's not. It's it's not even about that. You know, and in the gospel situation, I mean, I've got an extensive collection of horn parts for a lot of the more popular choir songs. You know, black gospel choir songs. I've got an extensive collection. I mean, I'm going to do something with that stuff. I'm going to probably publish the stuff. You know, and so, you know, it doesn't. I mean, if you do the work and you know how to keep the stuff together, then you can always benefit from it. So, yeah, it's that type of thing. So what I would say is you have to kind of do this based on. You have to do it based on the situation, based on some band chemistry stuff. It's based on some band politics stuff. Based on you know, stylistic considerations, based on all kinds of different things. You know, playing in a regular band setting, you know, getting a gig and maybe you're playing some show tunes or something, or whatever kind of gig you have. You know, it's different than going to a jam session. You go to a jam session, you're trying to just show like all this wild stuff that you can play. But you know, in an actual gig situation, you know, that you ain't gonna be playing all that wild stuff. You might be able to play that every once in a while, but in a tasteful manner that really clearly resolves very strongly, probably very quickly. You know, you don't want to be doing. You know, you probably don't want to play like a ton of static structures. When you're playing, you know, you got like a duo gig, piano player and you guys are playing show tunes, and you're playing like a bunch of static structures and metric modulation stuff. And it's like, you know, okay, I can tell the cat can play, but it's just like, you know, what are you doing? Like, you know, so, you don't want that. But,
sounds to me like a big challenge or thing to work on with that would be able to like play in like a bunch of different styles, but still like all of them be like identifiably you know?
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's the biggest, that's one of the biggest challenges, is to be able to play the styles, but to still sound like you while you're playing those styles. Just like you said, that is a big challenge. Because when you're just trying to play the style, you're going to risk losing yourself. If you're not so familiar with the style that you can still speak. You can still speak in your own voice. That is see, because what most cats do, you know, we'll say 90-some% of cats, what they deal with, as opposed to really learning different styles and being able to play the styles and stuff, what they do is they just play the same stuff in every style. You know,